Yo, what up, everyone? All right. So I wanted to jump on here while I had this fresh in my mind. Now, I was just tuning in to Drew Titan's live. He's got a really good live going on right now, to be completely honest with you. It was a bit hard to pull away to come on my own stream and talk about this situation, but I feel like I got to. I got a really busy day today, and I won't be able to drop in tomorrow morning stateside. So I'm going to go ahead and do it now. Yave, what's good, bro? So you guys see the title of the live stream. For those who are in here right now, there's only a few of you. I don't plan to make this too long of a live. I just, like I said, I wanted to go ahead and get these thoughts out here, and right now. And for those who can't watch live, will be able to come back and watch it on the channel later. First, I want to give a Mingus Allen was good, bro. First, I want to give a shout out to Blue Blood Sports, who has dropped the news of this situation of Anthony Joshua accepting step aside money to not fight Usyk. So Usyk and Tyson Fury will have an undisputed heavyweight title bout. Now, I don't know how like official this is, but it seems like it's pretty damn official. What I'm gonna do just real quick, I'm gonna go ahead and pull up an article. There's a bunch of articles just flying off the rails right now. So it seems like this is what's happening right now at the moment, is that indeed uh, Anthony Joshua is going to accept 15 million pounds of step aside money to not have the rematch against Usyk. So what I wanted to do is just give you guys my thoughts about this, and oh my god! All right, here we go. All right, so this is of the Mirror, which I believe is a British news source, and they're reporting here. If I can get away from these damn ads, and we'll blow this up for you guys a little bit so you guys can see it a little bit better. Now, there are a lot of other articles out there right now. I just clicked on this one, but if you were to Google it, there's a lot of them popping up right now, especially from the UK. Not too much news on the stateside yet. But of course, with Anthony Joshua being, a UK fighter, UK is going to drop this real quick. Omega Red in the building was good. Isaiah B, salute. Devin, what's good, bro? So let me get through this article just right quick, because maybe some of you are just hearing this for the first time. Blue Blood has made a video about this already. And like I said, there are a lot of articles out there right now, which you can go ahead and look up real quickly. So here it says Anthony Joshua ready to accept 15 million pounds to allow Tyson Fury, Oleksandr Usyk. Anthony Joshua is set to accept 15 million step-aside fee to pave the way for Oleksandr Usyk versus Tyson Fury. As we know, Joshua lost his heavyweight titles at the hands of Usyk last year, while Fury defeated Deontay Wilder to defend his WBC crown. All right, so there is a bit of a ring around the rosy here too, because if you guys don't know, Dillian Whyte was actually the mandatory to fight Tyson Fury, right? So it seems to me that the total amount that has been offered to step aside to make this bout between Fury and Usyk is actually 20 million pounds. And I think what they're going to have to do is split that. So 15 million is going to go to Joshua to step aside, and then Dillian Whyte is going to take 5 million to step aside. So that kind of opens different gates to see what's going to happen. Now, initially, my thoughts were like, why is Joshua on some bullshit again? Like, seriously, you got outclassed by Oleksandr Usyk. You've been out there on social media talking all this crazy shit, right? You drop your trainer, you're going to find a new trainer because you need a trainer that can help, find the dog in you, because you're out there I got a dog in me, but I need somebody to help me release it. So you're out there scouting different trainers, And I've heard rumors that he's focused more on the state side because he needs that American gangster mentality. And I'm not saying that out of my own paraphrasing. This is what the man has been saying, right? Quoting like American gangsters and shit like that, right? So he's been on this campaign since losing to Usyk to revamp his training, get a new trainer, get in the rematch, and revenge this loss, which, like, yeah, you kind of have to because you were embarrassed in your home country against a cruiserweight. No disrespect to Usyk, but it's his first fight at heavyweight. We don't really know his true and full potential at the heavyweight division, right? Because he's only had one fight and he beats you. So no disrespect, he was a cruiserweight and you got embarrassed in your home country. So yeah, you need to avenge that, right? Try to get your titles back. So my initial thoughts when this article and this news broke was this guy is on some BS again. He's on this shenanigans again, right? It's always something with Anthony Joshua. It's all smoky mirrors and sleight of hand and this kind of clownish behavior. But then I start thinking to myself, like, all right, so if this does actually happen, what other doors open up? Kaz, what's good, man? Soma, what's good? Nitty G in the building, official member of the channel. What's up, bro? Good world, what's good? Yeah, so then I started thinking, all right, so what other doors open? Well, Dillian White has to step aside too because he's Tyson Fury's mandatory. Joshua obviously moving out of the way to not have the rematch against Usyk. So now you get Fury Usyk. Now, typically, I support the idea of an undisputed champion at a weight class. And quite frankly, to get it in the heavyweight division is usually always a treat, right? Because we don't see that very often in the heavyweight division, right? So as we know, Tyson Fury has a WBC and Usyk has all the other belts. So in that respect, it's like, okay, we're going to get an undisputed champion. Then I started thinking, all right, well, as a Deontay Wilder fan, now we can finally possibly get Joshua and Wilder now. Because who was Joshua going to fight? I don't think he wants to fight Dillian White, and I don't think Dillian White wants to fight him either. Joshua has already knocked out Dillian White, right? So I don't think that fight's going to happen. I don't know what Dillian White's going to do because the dude is, 33, 34 years old. He don't got much time to wait around for Usyk and Fury and Joshua to do this merry-go-rounds when he's been begging and fighting and pleading for a title shot. So I don't know what Dillian White's going to do. And accepting £5 million to step aside if you're Dillian White is a little bit suspect to me because, like I said, you've been campaigning and fighting for the opportunity for the past 3 or 4 years to get this title shot. Oh, everyone's ducking me and this, that, and the third. So now you're willing to accept £5 million to step aside when you've been hunting down a title shot? I don't know. Maybe £5 million is too attractive. Maybe money talks. So I don't know what Dillian White's going to do. And then Joshua, what is we going to get Andy Ruiz 3? Now, there were a lot of rumors spinning behind the scenes that Deontay Wilder was going to come back and fight Andrew Ruiz, right? To kind of, catapult him back into the conversation. You knock out a guy like Andrew Ruiz is an accomplishment because he's never been stopped. And so I always supported that idea because Andy Ruiz is not really like a tune-up, right? He's a quality fighter, and he's tricky. So that's a good way, like, to slingshot yourself back into conversation. But that made sense then because Joshua was tied up with Usyk, and Tyson Fury was tied up with Dillian White. So there wasn't very many options there for Deontay if he was to come back, unless he fights somebody, that's not in the top 10 or in the top 5 or 6, right? Unless it's, as I said, Andrew Ruiz. So now with Joshua stepping aside, anything can happen now. Now we know on the sales side and the revenue side, I mean, obviously, anytime Deontay Wilder, hate him or love him, steps into the ring, it's gonna sell. It's the Bronze Bomber. Is any guy that Deontay Wilder fights, people are gonna buy that shit. I promise you that. And the fact that it's gonna be against Anthony Joshua, that's a no-brainer, right? If you're promoting, or if you're part of the promotional team between Anthony Joshua and Deontay, that's a no-brainer. You know it's going to sell. You just got to get the two fighters to agree and fight. Now, I have always taken the stance, before the Fury trilogy even started, I always took the stance that Joshua didn't want to fight Wilder. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. And now, because of, the back and forth there, because before Wilder fought Fury, right, to start off the trilogy, around the time he was fighting Ortiz, there was a lot of talk from Wilder and Joshua on whether they were going to fight or not, right? So the I guess the competitive juices are already there, right? There's already a little bit of like, you've been ducking me, no, I haven't kind of situation. So that makes the fight sell even easier. Mr. Punch-Out, what's good? So it could work out. It could work out, but it all depends on Anthony Joshua. And a little bit on Wilder, right? Because Wilder is technically, he hasn't made it abundantly clear on whether he's going to come back or not. Right now, from what I know, his stance is, I'm chilling at home, spending time with my family in Alabama. I've had a great career. I'm not really in a rush. I'm taking my time. That's what I know of Deontay Wilder right now. There's been some rumblings and rumors of different fights that possibly could be made. But now that Anthony Joshua is essentially freed up, right? He's taking a step aside money. Will that entice Wilder to actually come back? Because we don't know Wilder's mindset, right? Maybe he's not motivated to come back because he thinks like, all right, well, Usyk is tied up with Joshua. Fury's tied up with Dillian White, and there's Andy Ruiz. I don't know if that's really something that I want to come back for. No disrespect to Ruiz, but I don't know if I want to, come back to fight Andy Ruiz or not. Maybe he's not motivated to fight Andy Ruiz. I don't think it's a ducking situation. It's simply like, I've had a great career, and what is Andy Ruiz going to do for me? You got to have that fire burning, right? You want to still accomplish things in the sport. But Anthony Joshua is different than Andy Ruiz. It's different because people thought that Wilder didn't want to fight Joshua and vice versa. People thought Joshua didn't want to fight Wilder. They've had back and forth, years back. And so this might be something that will actually entice Wilder to come back. And the best way to do it, and this is why I say it's up to Anthony Joshua, really. Wilder's chilling, right? So we kind of know where he's at. So it comes down to Anthony Joshua, right? If he steps aside and he says, look, I'm stepping aside because, he can make some shit up and say like, all right, I want to see an undisputed, let's make this Fury Usyk fight happen. I'll fight the winner after I beat Wilder. Wilder's going to be my comeback fight from after losing to Usyk. I'll beat him because a lot of people thought I was ducking him. So I'll beat Wilder. and then I'll go back and I'll face the winner of Fury and Usyk. Maybe Joshua in his circus mind thinks that he has a better chance against Fury than he does against Usyk. So maybe he's thinking, well, stylistically, maybe Fury can beat Usyk. Then I'll beat Wilder. Then we'll have this grand matchup that a lot of the UK fans have wanted and get Fury Joshua. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. But if all the cards are played right, that's exactly what could happen. Now, I don't know. I haven't really thought too much about Fury and Usyk because it's just been thrown on my lap, right? I was thinking Joshua Usyk rematch, and I was thinking Fury Dillian White because that's what everybody has been saying for the past 3 months. So I haven't given too much thought about Fury Usyk. You can let me know in the chat on who you think wins that fight. It's an odd fight because Fury's bigger than Joshua. He's longer than Joshua. We don't know what kind of Fury you're going to get. Are you going to come like walking forward Fury like he did against Wilder? Or are you going to get boxing on your toes Fury like he did against the first fight against Wilder? We don't know what kind of Fury we're going to get. We know what Usyk's going to do, right? Elusive southpaw, going to box. But there were times where Joshua's length and size did give Usyk some problems. Usyk figured it out, but Tyson's even taller and longer than what Joshua is. So I don't know. I would have to actually sit down and break down that fight. But that's maybe something that Joshua's thinking, right? Let these two guys fight. I don't want to deal with Usyk right now. Usyk's a problem for me. I don't know what it is about Usyk, but I don't like that southpaw slick shit. I don't want nothing to do with that. So let these two guys fight it out. And I think Fury's going to beat Usyk. And then I'll go and fight Fury and make this big fight as the big money fight. But will it entice Wilder to jump into the mix? Because this idea of like, oh, well, Wilder, he lost 2 or 3 of the trilogy fights against Fury. So, we can't make a fight between him and Joshua. That's lies. That's straight up lies. They can easily make a fight between Joshua and Wilder. Easily. Easy sell. If you want to get technical, both coming off of losses. Both guys are, have been in the same era for X amount of years, but haven't fought yet. And it's a win situation for both guys. Joshua beats Wilder. People are like, oh, damn, Joshua has made these big changes like he said he was going to make. So let's get him in there with Fury and Usyk. If Wilder wins, then it's like, yeah, we've been saying that for years, that Joshua can't stand up to Wilder. And as a matter of fact, Wilder has the capability, unlike anybody else in the heavyweight division, to knock Joshua the hell out. Like badly, like brutally, like Dominic Brazil type shit. And we may never see Joshua ever again. To be honest with you. Now, I don't know how much Joshua respects Wilder. There's a reason why they haven't fought, in my opinion. I think he knows that Wilder's power is real. You know what I mean? Every heavyweight, I don't care what they've said about Wilder, whether it's positive or negative, they know his power is real. Even Fury knows that Wilder's power is real, right? But I still think Joshua thinks that he's a better boxer than Wilder. I do think he believes that. So maybe he thinks he can go in there and outbox Wilder like he did Andy Ruiz in the rematch. So, it's a lot of interesting details that have just like I said, like just kind of been dropped into our lap right now, which really shakes up the heavyweight division. Now, I don't really care who Wilder fights. I would just love to see him back in the ring at least a few more times before he hangs him up officially. Rather it's Ruiz or Joshua, it don't really matter to me. But if I were to choose, I would obviously, much rather watch Wilder Joshua, because stylistically it's great. It's a great payday for both fighters, and there's, like I said, man, there's been a lot of rumors from both sides saying each other's been ducking each other. So make it happen. Make it happen. And all it does for Wilder, I mean, think about it this way. When you want to talk about legacy, right? When it's all said and done, right now, Wilder will be known as one of the most, if not the most, devastating heavyweight punchers of all time. I don't care if you like it or not. That's just fact. Look at the resume. Look at his knockout record, right? But unfortunately, when the history books are written, he fought Tyson Fury 3 times and lost twice. So, to kind of put an exclamation point on his resume, Joshua looks good, right? Because Joshua, arguably on paper, right? Not talking about his heart, not talking about the clownish shit that he's done, but on paper, he's got one of the best resumes of the heavyweight division. I mean, I hate to say it, but it's true. Tyson Fury doesn't have much on his resume other than Wilder himself and Klitschko. Really, those are like the two guys on his resume that makes him relevant. Wilder has got, he's got Ortiz, and he's got some other, some contenders and stuff like that on his resume. But Joshua, he's got the best on paper resume. So if you knock out Joshua, you can counteract those two losses against Fury very, very quickly. Very, very quickly. But that depends on Wilder if he cares about legacy, But there's that gray zone where it's like, we don't know where Wilder is right now. Is he in or is he out? We know he's chilling. We know that he broke his hand. But how much fire does he still have? And sometimes in boxing, it takes that one fighter to entice them to come back. And I think it's Anthony Joshua. Now that if he is indeed free now, then that's what's going to entice someone like Deontay to come back, right? To rekindle that fire. Brock was good. Yeah, Mr. Punch-Out. I've been saying it for a long time. That Joshua didn't want no part of Wilder when Wilder was on a tear, just knocking everybody out. And during that time where he was, when he was trying to fight Joshua and Joshua was, beating around the bush and hopscotching around the idea, Wilder went on and fought Ortiz, right? A guy that Joshua who hasn't fought and Fury hasn't fought. So, I just feel like there might be some strange twists and turns to this whole scenario. Because if Joshua does indeed, and I have the article up on the screen right now, if Joshua does indeed take step aside money, I mean, he's free. He's free to make, to do other options, right? Rather it's Wilder or he rematches Dillian White. Or he rematches Andy Ruiz for a third time. I mean, so let me say this to finalize this. Joshua, in my opinion, is in a situation that it's a make it or break it situation for Joshua, in my opinion. It's a make it or break it situation. Because either he is clever and has a bigger plan, or he's just a straight up embarrassment. If he takes 15 million pounds to step aside, right? Okay, he pockets that. But like Mr. Punch-Out just pointed out right here, he could have got 50 mil, right, for that rematch with Usyk, right? So he's 35 mil short. The only way you're going to make up that 35 mil is if you fight somebody like Wilder. And I don't even know if you can get close to that 35. But maybe you can get 20 out of it or 25. But that's the only way, really. You ain't going to get that in Andy Ruiz. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see Dillian Whyte either. So it's Wilder. But this is my problem, right? So if he takes this step aside money, he basically walks away from 50 mil because he knows Usyk is a real problem for him. He doesn't want to deal with it anymore. He can't wrap his head around the idea of having to rematch this guy. He's not confident. So for whatever reason, either one, he takes a 15 mil and go fight some tomato can somewhere, make another 10 mil, or maybe he feels like he's got a chance to beat Wilder. But the only way you get Wilder in the ring is you got to call him out. That's it. That's the only way, because I don't think Wilder right now in his state of mind, I don't think he's going to be like, "Oh, Joshua's free now. All right, let me call him out." Like, because if you're Wilder, you may feel like, I don't want to deal with this dude anymore, man. I don't want to deal with this clown. I tried to call him out before, and if anybody's out there scratching their head like, "Yo, Divine, you talking shit, man. Wilder never called out Joshua." Rewind the tape. Rewind the tape. After Wilder beat Ortiz the second time, in the middle of the ring, he called out Joshua. He told Joshua, "Let's make it happen. Come get some." Joshua didn't want none of part, and he didn't want none of that. So Wilder, he's done his due diligence by calling out Joshua multiple times, but more specifically in the ring after he beat Ortiz in the second fight. So Wilder's probably thinking like, "Oh, he's free, but shit, I'm not going to chase this dude, man. I already did that." So that means Joshua has to, that has to be his grand plan. You're losing a lot of money by stepping aside, and the only way to make up that money is to fight Wilder. That's the only fight where you can make that type of money. But in order to do that, you're going to have to call him out. "Hey, Wilder, yo, like, I'd step aside to let these dudes have Undisputed. How about me and you get it on? Because, a lot of people said I was ducking you. I ain't ducking you. I ain't scared of you. I want to take care of you first, and then I'll take care of the winner of Usyk and Fury." I think that'll be enough to bring Wilder out of the woodwork if Joshua came out saying something like that. Wilder be like, "All right, bet. All right, bet." Right? I think even if Joshua wants to fight in the UK, I don't think Wilder cares. If the money's on the table, the money's right, I think Wilder will come out of the woodwork. I really do. And then we'll see what happens with Usyk and Fury, and see how all that plays out. And so if Wilder beats Joshua and Fury beats Usyk, Fury is now the undisputed heavyweight champion. I think then Dillian Whyte has been pushed to the side once again because Joshua chose to fight Wilder and Fury chose to fight Usyk. Dillian's already pocketed $5 million because he's got to step aside too, because he's the mandatory to Tyson Fury, who has the WBC. But the way I think it's going to play out is Fury will beat Usyk if he does, and then he'll fight Dillian, give him a chance, and then that'll be that. But I don't know. A strange turn of events, we might see Fury and Wilder for a fourth time. I don't know. But if Wilder comes back, anything can happen. As long as Wilder stays there in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, then no, there's no chance that we're ever going to see him and Fury ever again. If he comes back and knocks the shit out of Anthony Joshua, and who knows, maybe Dillian White too, I don't know. Then we might get a Fury Wilder 4. Just not because it needs to happen because the third fight wasn't, convincing enough to make a fourth fight or anything like that, but just because there ain't nobody else left to fight. It's going to boil down to these two men again. But I don't know. I'm just throwing some ideas around here. Andrew Charles, what's good? D-O-double-G. Oh, what's good, bro? He says, Usyk should tell him no and fine his scary ass for ducking. What's up, Divine? Yeah, I mean, yeah, Hands Beecham. Hey, I've been hearing that a lot lately, bro, from my subscribers right now. A lot. Very irritating, man. Make sure you hit that notification bell for sure. And if you've already done that, like I tell my subscribers all the time, hit up YouTube, man. Don't play around because if it's me, it's probably other people that you enjoy watching too. Because we're all one and the same pretty much. They all treat us the same out here. You know what I'm talking about. I don't got to get deep into it. You guys know what I'm talking about. There's certain channels out here that get treated like this. So if you're not getting my notifications, then you're more than likely not getting notifications for other channels either. So that's why I tell people, hit up YouTube and be like, yo, I'm subscribed to these channels and I'm not getting notified, you know what I'm saying? Because when you try to threaten their pocket, that's when they try to, fix shit. Uberfly, what's good? So this is where it's at. Supposedly, and let me just show you guys. Let me show you guys that there are multiple articles out here. By the way, multiple articles. It's not just this one random article. Here's another one right here by the Telegram. Right, this is another one by the Telegram. I just pulled up one by the Mirror. Both of these are, the UK news outlets, but nonetheless, I mean, they're going to report it faster than the States will, anyways. Obviously, because, Joshua's a UK fighter. Man, I ain't trying to do no damn trial, man. Oh, God, I hate this shit, man. Anyways, there's other articles out here. I ain't dealing with that bullshit. Here's another one by Talk Sport. Right, so there's a lot. There's a lot of them out there. Right. Anthony Joshua stepping aside to let Tyson Fury face Usyk for 15 million pounds payout makes a world of sense, as Conor Benn admits he would do the same. So there you have it. Conor Benn believes it makes absolute sense for Anthony Joshua to step aside. So a lot of articles out here, guys. I'm not just out here, talking out of my ass. And y'all can go look it up. Now they throwing Conor Benn in there too. Matt, why do we care about Wilder still? So you're saying that you don't want to see Wilder Joshua? I mean, do you hate Wilder that much? I mean, because if you hate Wilder that much, I mean, just at least be honest. Just be like, yeah, I don't like Wilder, man. I think he's a piece of shit. Just be honest. Because you're a boxing fan, right? You're subscribed to Divine Sense Boxing because you're a boxing fan, right? So why wouldn't you want to see Wilder Joshua? Okay, so I guess I answered your question then, Matt. That's your answer right there. AJ versus Wilder will sell easily, without much effort. Literally without much effort. And well, Matt, that's cool, but you got to explain. You got to explain to everybody in the chat then, if that's the case, on how you think Joshua's going to beat Wilder, because I don't see it happening. And at the end of the day, I mean, like, if you don't like Wilder, it is what it is. Like, I'm not going to beg you to like Wilder, right? I don't care. But let me say this: hate him or love him, there's only one person that's a problem for Wilder in the heavyweight division, and that's Tyson Fury. And that is purely based off of, just a style matchup, right? And the way Fury changed his game, and how the bad blood, and Wilder straying away from his usual self, and ballooning up in weight, trying to be heavier, trying to rely on nothing but his power, and et cetera, et cetera. It's not making excuses. It's basically saying Fury did that to Wilder. Fury pulled that out of Wilder, right? And only Fury can do that. So there's only one person that gives Wilder issues in the heavyweight division, and that is Tyson Fury. And that saga is essentially like done. So you got to convince me from a boxing point of view, not with emotion, on why Joshua beats Wilder. Because if you can't, then basically you're just a hater and you're not a boxing fan. That's what it comes down to. You can hate, I mean, you can sit up there and be like, I don't like Wilder for X, Y, and Z. That doesn't change the fact that Wilder, in my opinion, will knock Joshua the hell out. Plain and simple. So it doesn't matter how you feel about Wilder. You got to convince me that Joshua can beat Wilder, and I don't think you believe he can, honestly, deep down in your soul, Matt. I don't think you really believe that Joshua can beat Wilder. You just don't like Wilder. But that's something personal that you got to deal with. Wilder lost every round to Ortiz and finally caught up with him. AJ, on the other hand, outboxed Parker, knocked out Povetkin, and outboxed Ruiz. That doesn't give me... You're talking about past fights. But since you brought it up about Ortiz, I'm glad you did. Because let me tell you something. Even Tyson Fury himself will tell you, and he has all the reasons in the world, right, according to people like you, to hate Wilder, right? Because, Wilder accused him of this, that, and whatever. We hate Wilder for this. Baseless claims. Try to paint me as a villain, whatever. So if anybody out there in the boxing world will hate Wilder the most, it will be Tyson Fury. But even Tyson Fury himself will tell you that Wilder's power is real. Now, let me ask you something, Matt. Who has a better chin? Fury or Joshua? There ain't no way on God's green earth that Joshua would have been able to take the shots that Tyson Fury took in the first fight and the third fight. No way. There ain't no way Joshua takes those shots and gets up like Fury did. And he has proven to be hurt by dudes with lesser power. So explain that to me. Explain that to me. So basically, Joshua would have to outbox Wilder for 12 rounds and not get hit with something big. Basically. Because I tell you what, Matt, there ain't no way in the world that Wilder is scared of Joshua. So to me, Wilder will come forward with big shots until he knocks Joshua the hell out. If you thought that he was fighting with passion against Fury, you have no idea. what he's going to do to Joshua. But look, I like it when they bring up Ortiz. Oh, well, Ortiz was outboxing him for X amount of rounds, and then Wilder got lucky. I don't really believe in luck in boxing. It takes skill to land a punch in the right area to knock someone the hell out. Yeah, okay, sometimes you can just put your head down and loop a shot over and, you can land it. Right? But this ain't some backyard brawling. This isn't some beef fight that you got in the hood. Like this is boxing. This is professional boxing. It takes skill to land a punch like that against another professional boxer. Hit the fire emoji. So when it comes to Deontay Wilder, that is the whole point about Wilder, is that you can be outboxing. You can be looking good. You can make it look like, oh shit, this guy's going to take a 12 and outbox him. And then boom, that's all she wrote. And when people get hit by Wilder, they don't get up. They don't get up. And the only person that would and did is Tyson Fury. No, I'm not emotional because you come in here talking shit and you did not give me a stylistic breakdown on why you think Joshua will beat Wilder. I'm not emotional in the defense of Wilder. I am emotional in the defense of boxing because people like you come in here with hatred in your heart for a man. And you're entitled to that for whatever your little personal vendettas or your personal reasons may be. However, this is a boxing channel. This ain't Jerry Springer. This ain't the Maury Show. This is a boxing channel. So if you come in here with hatred in your heart for a man and tell me he's going to lose or he's a cancer, as what you said, right? Then you got to come in here and tell me on why you think Joshua's going to beat Wilder. Not because you think, oh, he's going to, you don't bring up past resumes. Nah, we talk the sweet science over here. I don't want to hear none of that shit about a resume. I didn't bring up Ortiz. You did. I was talking about Wilder and Joshua, the fight itself. It had nothing to do with the motion. You brought emotion in here. Why? Because you saw Wilder in the title. That's why you came in here, Matt. That's why you came in here, Matt. Because you saw Wilder in the title. And you brought your emotion in here. You brought your hatred in here. I'm talking about boxing. What are you talking about? Raw Dog the Prophet was good. A newly founded official member of the channel, man. Salute to you, Raw Dog. Good to see you in here. Texas T346. She says, salute, Town Biz brought me here. Hey, shout out to Town Biz, man. Me and Town Biz, we go way back. Way back. Town Biz used to follow my original channel back in the day in like 2009, 2010. And the dude has always shown me love and respect, man. I got a lot of respect for Town Biz. We don't always agree, but I got a lot of respect for that, man. And it's good to hear that he's brought someone here. And I always tell people about Town Biz as well. I told you he jabs him up and lands a straight right hand and puts the dude to sleep. Okay. All right. I mean, all right, bro. Like, I'm not gonna stand up here and butt heads with you, man. It's pretty clear and obvious that you don't respect Wilder and skills. So I'm assuming that you think that he's just a big, strong guy that has one big punch. Okay. All right. I'm not going to argue with that because it's pretty much futile at this point. But I'm sorry, bro. Like, it's just hard for me to wrap my head around the idea that Joshua is gonna knock out Wilder. If anything, in my opinion, if Joshua wins the fight, he's gonna outbox Wilder. I mean, he can do it. He should be able to do it at 6'6", right? Amateur pedigree, Olympic gold medalist. He should be able to outbox Wilder, right? Because Wilder ain't shit. His bronze medal ain't shit, right? So that's how I see it. Because if you think Wilder don't have a chin, then you ain't paying attention. If you think Wilder does not have a chin, you have not been paying attention. Because being dropped by Tyson Fury, and I'm not even going to talk about the second fight. I ain't going to talk about that because that was a referee / corner stoppage. But in the third fight, exhaustion and going toe-to-toe and knocking Fury down himself 2 times and then finally getting stopped, that's not having a chin. That is extending yourself to the ends of the earth and you have nothing left. And any shot can drop you at any moment, and any fighter can be dropped, especially in the heavyweight division. This is not a guy who gets touched and gets knocked out early. This is not a guy who, throughout his whole career until he met Tyson Fury, was getting dropped or showed a suspect chin. This is not Joshua. Joshua has been dropped multiple times by different fighters in his career. Wilder was dropped by one man, the biggest man size-wise in the sport. So I find it a little bit funny, I must admit, that you think that Joshua would knock out Wilder, but you are entitled to your opinion. I don't agree with your opinion. I think it's foolhardy and silly, and it shows a little bit of a lack of boxing knowledge, in my opinion, because, see, there's this sentiment out here, right? There's this sentiment out there that Wilder is literally just a big, strong guy with power. He ain't got no skill. Oh, and Fury exposed him. Let me tell you something, man. Fury had to change his whole damn style. He had to get a new trainer and change his whole style to be able to deal with Wilder. Now, you can stay up here and say, "Oh, well, Fury won the first fight too." No, he didn't. Stop it. No, he didn't. I can live with the draw. I know a lot of Wilder fans don't even like that, but I can live with the draw as a Wilder fan. But to say that Fury won that fight is ludicrous. That's exactly why he changed his whole damn style to deal with Wilder. Because he knew going into a second, third fight and trying to box on his toes, Wilder will eventually land something. Fury believes and knows Wilder's power is real. And he knows that although, and we're talking about Fury, one of the best defensive fighters in the heavyweight division, yes or no? Who has a better defense, Joshua or Fury? So we're talking about one of the best, if not the best. Well, I put him in the top 3 because Usyk is pretty damn good too, defensively. So he's one of the best defensive heavyweights out there. And even Fury knows Wilder somehow can still connect. He can still connect and hit me. And I'm confident in my defense. That takes skill. So this sentiment and this blasphemy that has been spewed out about Wilder over the past 3 or 4 years is exactly that, blasphemy, that he doesn't have skill. Is he the most technical boxer? No. Is he the most skillful boxer, the most talent as a boxer? No, but everybody knew that about Wilder even before he started his professional career, that he was God-gifted with power, but it takes skill to land that power. And if you don't think that that's the case, so that basically means that I can go and punch a boxing punching bag that has a power meter on it, right? And I can have more punching power. If I were to box, I would probably be either a light heavy or a super middleweight, right? So that would basically mean that I have more power than Triple G. based off of power. I hit a bag and I register a higher power, more power than Triple G does. Does that mean I can beat Triple G? Because it doesn't matter how much power I have. If I don't have the skill to land that power, Triple G is going to whoop my ass. Because this is boxing. And you need skill to be able to land that power. And that's exactly what Deontay Wilder has done throughout his whole career. And that's what it is. Duke Todd, what's good, man? Good to see you in the chat. Ubafly in there saying, given his size and athleticism, AJ should hit a lot harder than he actually does, and his boxing is novice. I mean, yeah. I mean, I feel like, when Joshua got his fame, right? When Joshua got his fame, he was starting to build a resume, right? Beat Dillian White and Povetkin and these guys and Parker. And people are like, oh, he's a threat. But something happened. You know what it was, man? Andy Ruiz, man. Andy Ruiz. He unlocked the code. And if Andy Ruiz didn't come into the second fight damn near 300 pounds out of shape, out there spending money, having fiestas every single day because, he's a newly crowned champ, the first Mexican heavyweight champion, then he probably would have beat Joshua again. So Andy Ruiz unlocked the code. And although Joshua won the rematch, because quite frankly, Andy Ruiz he was a shell of himself in comparison to the first fight, Usyk doubled down on that code. So I'm not saying that Wilder is of the status or the boxing skill of Usyk, but what I am saying is that the code has been broken on Joshua. And quite frankly, if this was 5 years ago when Joshua was at his peak and Joshua was going to fight Wilder, I would say, I would be a little bit more cautious, right? I'd be like, I'm going to have to break this fight down because, Joshua's looking good right now. But in my opinion, he's a broken man. He's a broken man. Spiritually and emotionally. And Wilder, he'll expose that. He will expose that. Even if Joshua has a few good rounds, it don't matter. It don't matter. Nap artist in the building. What's good, bro? So AG doesn't have the heart no more he used to before Ruiz. His confidence is knocked off completely. Exactly. And we've seen this happen many, many times before in boxing history. Guys go on a run, they win belts, they're looking good, they're the talk of the town, the talk of the boxing world, and then they get clapped. And then they're never the same. And then all of a sudden, their name starts to dissipate through thin air. And, oh, yeah, he was this pretty good heavyweight champion once. I hate to say it, but that's the route that I think Joshua is going. And Joshua has to prove me otherwise. Joshua has to prove to me otherwise. And don't get me wrong, making a fight with Joshua and Wilder are good for both of them. Both of them are looking for redemption. A redemption fight is always a good fight, and there is always a good result that comes out of it. And I can't get mad at Joshua, to be honest with you. I can't get mad with him for not wanting to deal with Usyk again, because I'll be honest with you. If you think Usyk beat Joshua bad the first fight, I think it's going to be even worse the second fight. As a matter of fact, I think Usyk might stop his ass, because he damn near had him stopped in the 12th round. And so I can't get too mad at Joshua for not wanting to deal with Usyk a second time. Let Fury deal with him. And you can be kind of the hero, right? Oh, Joshua stepped aside so he can allow an undisputed champion heavyweight to arise to the occasion. He's the hero. Why Joshua then becomes the hero, and Joshua can double down on that hero status if he then goes and beats Wilder. It's not about Fury already beat Wilder and Wilder is damaged goods. It's the fact that you silenced the critics. Because one thing about Wilder is, even though he may be damaged goods because he lost to Fury, one thing that you don't lose, like to your point earlier, Matt, you mentioned Ronnie Lyle and these other heavyweights who didn't have great skill, but they were hard-headed and had a lot of power, right? So to your point, the last thing you lose is your power. That makes you a live dog no matter what, no matter who you face. So the victory over Wilder for Anthony Joshua is still a feather in his cap because he beats a guy who the critics said he was afraid of, including me. And also, he's going to beat a guy who has all this power. So then it's like, oh, well, Joshua, man, maybe he's improved his chin. He still has the heart. If you beat Wilder, you silence the doubters of not only silencing the critics because they thought you were ducking Wilder, but also because people are doubting your heart. And you're going to need heart to deal with a power puncher like Deontay Wilder, period. So you got to prove it to me, Anthony Joshua. Now, Wilder, same. It's a redemption fight. You beat Joshua. You basically say, yeah, I told you guys he ain't shit. He was ducking me then, and now he finally stepped up, and I knocked his ass out. So what's up? And, I might as well go up there and try to take the titles again. It's a win-win. It's a win-win. Raw Dog the Prophet, man, he says, Divine, in your opinion, do you think if Wilder did the Fury fight at his born natural weight, I think he would have had a better chance of beating Fury? All that weight held him back. All the weight definitely was a factor. I think that he felt that because of the second fight, when Fury was leaning on him, putting all of his weight on him, and trying to out wrestle him, on the inside, the sneaky little headlocks, the sneaky little punches behind the head and shit. So I think he thought, I need to bulk up to be able to deal with Fury better on the inside, so I can actually stand in there and not let him manhandle me, basically, right? I think that's what his plan was. And, and try in his head, he's thinking, I got to increase my power a little bit more so I have a better shot to knock him out with one punch. But I think that strategy backfired on him because it's not about having to deal with him on the inside, really. At some point he's going to get you tied up and he's going to lean on you or whatever, rather you're 235 or you're 212. But at 212, you're going to be able to recover in between rounds much better. You're going to be able to move your feet much better. And in boxing, it's all about footwork, right? Feet is what gets you to the target much faster, right? Especially against a guy like Fury. And we saw how he looked in the first fight. Although Fury was boxing, we saw a Wilder in the first fight that didn't get tired. Wilder had power going into the 12th round that nearly knocked Fury out, right? So we know what he's capable of at 212 to 215. And then when he was on a terror, knocking dudes out, I mean, that's the weight that he was at. He would never go above 220. Anywhere from 212 to 218 was his weight. So I definitely agree that it backfired on him. Do I think he would have won the fight if he was, at that 212, 218 range? I don't know if he would have won the fight, but yes, I think that he would have had a better chance because he wouldn't have got as gassed out. He would have had stamina, and maybe even if he lost, he would have finished the fight on his feet after 12 and force it to the cards. And but like I said, man, Fury's the only guy that put Wilder in the position to change everything about himself, right? Where he became so fixated and so invested into knocking Fury out that he did something that he never had to do before. Increase his weight, and then you're going heavy bench press, you're doing heavy upper body because you want to increase your power. But bro, Deontay, you got God gifted power, bro. Like you don't need to do all that upper body. Nah, bro. Like get your legs, sorted out so you have the stamina and endurance to deal with a guy like Tyson Fury. Because Tyson Fury, he's prepared to go to 12 every time. That's what Tyson Fury has done his whole career is go 12 pretty much, unless he got a knockout. So that's what you should have done. And you come in at 215-ish and you use your foot speed and your athleticism to make it difficult for Fury. But only Tyson Fury can do that. And on that note, if Wilder does fight Joshua, I see Wilder going back to where he was, coming to fight around 215 to 218, be fast on his feet, have those reflexes, have that athleticism, and that's why I think he knocks out Joshua. You got to get out of your mind that he's going to come in and fight Joshua at the same weight that he fought Fury. He's not going to come in at 235, right? So you're going to see that athleticism back again. He didn't have much athleticism against Fury because he was so stiff and heavy that everything was power. And so that's what it was. That's what it was. Watcher, not moving your head matters. Well, what do you need to be able to move your head? What do you need? Boxing skill aside, right? Because that's already a stat. Like everyone knows that, right? But what do you need physically to be able to move your head? You need energy. When you ain't got no damn energy, when you ain't got no damn stamina, and your endurance is depleted, it's hard to move your damn head. If you've ever boxed before, and no disrespect to Watcher, I'm speaking this in general to everybody. If you ever boxed before, when you get tired, it's hard to hold your hands up. It's difficult to move your feet, and it's difficult to move your damn head out of the way, especially when you're a 235-pound heavyweight dealing with the man that's 280, bearing down on you, pulling your head down for an entire fight. Right? So, but that's my point. When you're so fixated on knocking your opponent out, you abandon all the skills that you have accumulated over the years. And Wilder was never a defensive genius. He was never a boxing genius anyway. So the skills that he did have to defend himself were abandoned because of the fixation to knock Fury out. So that accompanied with the fact that you are too damn heavy and you couldn't recover because you couldn't get enough damn oxygen in your muscles because you're too damn big, because genetically and anatomically speaking, you're not the same athlete at 235 as you are at 215, 218, and that is fact. And I know that from my line of work dealing with athletes and even with myself competing in life, that I am much different when I'm, 165 and 180. Am I stronger? Yes. Am I more powerful? Yes, because I have more muscle mass. Do I get tired faster? Absolutely, I do. Do I jump as high as I did when I was 165? No, I don't, because I'm heavier. That's just the way it is. And and when you it's and when you get older, it's even worse. Now, if you're 25, 26, you can fluctuate in weight, right? But Wilder's pretty much the same age as I am. We're about the same age. And it's different. Your body works different when you're 34, 35, 36 years old. It doesn't respond the way that it used to when you were 25, 26. At 35, 36, you can put on weight easier than you can lose weight. You understand me? But that's a dangerous spot to be in as a heavyweight fighter when your whole career you've been successful at 215. So the only way it works is, to your point, Watcher, is that if you say, okay, well, my body's changing now. I can't fight at this weight anymore. I'm going to have to deal with being at 230, 235 now. Then, yeah, you're right. You do have to create a new style or a new approach and work on your defense more, because you're not going to move as quickly as you used to. Yeah, I'm just catching up on the AJ. What's up, bro? AJ64. Yeah, man, no notification. I was just telling other people right now, they were telling me the same thing, that they're not getting no notifications. But you know, if you don't know, or if you haven't noticed, it's certain channels, right? We're all kind of bunched into the same category, and YouTube is seemingly doing it to certain channels out here, and you guys know what I'm talking about. So the only way around it is, number one, make sure you've hit the notification bell. And number two, start hitting up YouTube, going into the help center and say, hey, I'm subscribed to this channel and that channel, and I ain't getting no damn notifications. And I don't appreciate that as a user of YouTube, because I'm missing out on content that I'm subscribed to. And those of you who are members of channels who you're giving monthly donations to, you should be even more irate, because now they're messing with your money. You're donating and YouTube is not notifying you. But that's how they do us out here. Yeah, Duke Todd, I appreciate you. So I see you guys, Soma and a couple others out here saying, yo, it's all rumors right now as far as Anthony Joshua taking a step aside. It very may well be. This is boxing. Shit. It's like a damn soap opera a lot of the times. But there are several articles that have came out. Blue Blood has already reported on it. And Blue Blood, no offense to him. I mean, he hears some news, he reports it. I mean, that's what he does. But I guess at this point, we just have to wait and see, right? But it is a real, like, if it's a rumor, it's a real rumor, right? It's not some rumor that was created by some content creator. We have actual articles here that are here. I mean, I got top stories right here on Anthony Joshua right here. It says Telegram, The Mirror, and Talk Sport all releasing the same information in regards to him stepping aside. So there are some, and The Mirror and the Telegram are, they are like bona fide news sources from the UK. So, yeah, I mean, it's not reality until it's actually signed, sealed, and delivered, and it's announced by the promoters and stuff like that. But I think that there are definitely conversations happening that have leaked, but it may not be signed, sealed, and delivered yet. But hey, I just wanted to, you guys know how I like to do it, right? I like to hear something and just throw out these possibilities and let you guys kind of sit on them. I mean, let's see. But as far as Anthony Joshua and Usyk is concerned, I mean, I think it's going to be worse for Joshua, the second fight. I think it's going to be worse. Um, and I think that after having been in the ring with Usyk, he knows this, and having a Wilder fight, like I said, like I think there's still a part of him that feels like he can outbox Wilder, but I don't think he believes that he can outbox Usyk. I think if he beats Usyk, he knows he's got to try to knock Usyk out, land a big shot. I just don't think, and I don't think he thinks that he can outbox Usyk. I mean, simple. He does have a better chance of outboxing Wilder, yeah, in comparison to Usyk, if you can stay away from Wilder's power. But if these rumors are true, it does throw a monkey wrench into the whole heavyweight division, because Dillian Whyte is a part of this, right? And he's been knocking on the door for how many years now, trying to get a title shot. And for the longest, it's always been Tyson Fury, Dillian Whyte, Joshua Usyk. Nothing really heard much about Wilder, other than the possibility of possibly fighting Andy Ruiz. But even that's a rumor. Yeah, I know British media they're notorious for ruffling feathers and spreading rumors. And so I'm aware of that. But nonetheless, when you have 3-4 articles popping out, I think it's still noteworthy, and I think it's still worthy of speaking about it, because if it does indeed happen, we're like prepared for it now, right? Because we've spoken about it, we've thought about it, and we'll see how the cookie crumbles. But if it isn't true, then whatever. Like, we're used to it, right? As boxing fans, we're used to being abused and lied to. So it's like a battered woman, right? It's we come back for more, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean that's what it is. If it isn't true, then whatever. Then we set our sights on what originally was supposed to be, and that's the rematch with Joshua and Usyk. But to that point, though, Soma, is that if it's like, yeah, well, he doesn't want to lose face, he doesn't want to look bad or loss of image because he drops out, but he can rectify that, though. He can rectify it, because he can try to play the hero, right? And the promoters will help him do that. The promoters will come out and say, Joshua has decided to step aside because he wants to give boxing fans a chance to witness an undisputed heavyweight champion. And in the meantime, Joshua has decided to hunt down and fight Deontay Wilder to make this mega fight, because people thought that Joshua has been ducking Wilder all these years. So the plan is, and I'm speaking as the promoters here now, the plan is to go and take care of Wilder, put Wilder on his already established and esteemed resume. Then we'll sit back and wait to see what happens with Fury Usyk, and we'll have the automatic opportunity to jump into the winner of that. Now, that all sounds good, and you can deliver that message, and I think that most of the UK fans, I would imagine, would accept that, right? Because they're not too confident with him and Usyk right now. They're like, man, Usyk is a problem. But, if we fight Deontay Wilder, as Joshua fans, I'm more confident about that. We can get another a win under our belt, right? So all that makes sense. And then, we got confidence back. The Anthony Joshua of old is back. Then he can jump in there between the winner of Fury and Usyk, and either way, it's a win-win for Joshua. If you fight Fury, it's a big UK battle. If you rematch Usyk because Usyk beats Fury, then it's a rematch, and I mean it's a win-win no matter what, and you're fighting for the belts again. The only problem with this whole scenario is Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte gets screwed over big time, because there ain't nobody to fight, really, right? So Dillian Whyte has to be willing to accept $5 million. Then he's going to be pushed on the shelf once again because nobody's trying to fight him. Joshua doesn't want to fight Dillian Whyte again. He's already fought him. So who was Dillian White going to fight? Ruiz? Andy Ruiz, Dillian White? Maybe. Maybe that fight happens. But, that's just kind of how I see it. But Anthony Joshua can, believe it or not, rectify him stepping away from the rematch against Usyk. It'll be hard to rectify $50 million, though. So that means that you get 15 mil for the step aside, and then you got to make up 35 million with dealing with Wilder. And I don't know if the promotional companies can pull that off. I mean, it can definitely sell, but I don't know if they can get, Joshua 35 million out of that. And who gets the bigger cut? Who gets the bigger cut, Joshua or Wilder? They're both former champions, and they're both coming off of losses. Who's the bigger draw? It doesn't really matter, right? If he goes to the UK, Joshua's the bigger draw. If they fight in the States, Wilder is definitely the bigger draw. So it doesn't really matter where they fight. It's pretty much a 50-50 split. So if it's a 50-50 split, can they make 60 million out of it? They both get 30 mil. I don't know. I don't know if that's possible. So that is the situation that we're looking at right now. There are plenty of articles online if you want to go and browse through it. Like I said, Blue Blood has already dropped a video about it saying his thoughts, and I'm sure by now other channels as well have done the same. And, as boxing fans, most of the time we're just sitting here holding our breath until things are actually signed, sealed, and delivered. And even when they are, sometimes those signed, sealed, and delivered packages get thrown in the trash too. And, big fights are thrown out the window. But yeah, Mangus Allen, it would pretty much have to be 50-50. But no one really has the upper hand here. Both coming off of losses and both former champions. Right. And Alfred, I was saying that earlier, where it's like at the end of the day, hate or love Wilder, if Wilder's fighting, you're going to tune in. I find that funny. We get so much hate against Wilder, but they're going to tune in. Rather he fights Ruiz or Joshua or White or anyone else, you're going to tune in because you know what? You know what's funny? You like knockouts, don't you? All you motherfuckers out here hating. But you love knockouts, don't you? Now, you might want to see Wilder lose because you hate the man, but deep down in your wretched soul that Wilder can knock anybody out at any time, and you like knockouts. That's just fact, and you have a hard time admitting that. So rather you love him or hate him, you're going to tune in. And you know what? When Wilder retires out of the game, and officially, y'all going to miss Wilder too. All the big knockouts, the flash knockdowns, the one-hitter quitters. We're going to have to wait for somebody else to take that mantle, right? And that may take a long time. In heavyweight division, you're going to get knockouts here and there. That's pretty much, granted, right? You're going to get in the heavyweight division, but when are we going to see another Wilder who just can literally be losing a whole damn fight and then knock you out with one punch? Or first round, sleep. Second round, sleep. And sometimes sleep devastatingly, scared, very scary type sleeping. When are we going to see another fighter like that? It may take another 10 years. So when he's gone, y'all going to miss him. Damn, we haven't really seen any big, powerful knockouts anymore. Oh, there was this one guy, Wilder. Yeah, I didn't really like him, but I miss those knockouts, man. I miss that power. I miss witnessing that power. So that's what it is, man. And I promise you that. I've seen it so many times. Even now with Mayweather out of the game. Right? People already starting to miss Mayweather to the point where they'll still watch him fight celebrity matches against Logan Paul. So I think the Wilder haters, the few that we had in here, have already slipped out the back door. But you know what, man? Look, I'm not even. I'm not like I don't even necessarily get upset or get emotional because I'm a Wilder fan. I mean, it's no secret that I'm a Wilder fan, but it's really I just get tired, man, on a boxing standpoint. Literally on a boxing standpoint. Like, and when I meet people in real life outside of this YouTube shit, when I meet people in real life and I have a conversation about Wilder, and it's like they get confused. They're like, "Well, how could you be a Wilder fan? He's not a good boxer." Or, "Well, how could you be a Wilder fan? Look at all that stuff he did against Fury. All the allegations." And I'm like, what does that got to do with boxing? That's a sidebar conversation. It's like today, I'm talking about the potential match between Wilder and Joshua, and we got somebody in here saying, "Oh, Wilder's cancer." What does that got to do with the potential matchup between Wilder and Joshua? Right? And I always find it funny how, and this is the problem with society as a whole. It's like Wilder did and said whatever he said and did against Fury, whether you agree with it or not. That's between Fury and Wilder. So why are you getting involved in it? Why are you getting emotionally invested in between two men's disputes? To me, that's beta male energy. That's female energy. It's like, I'm going to hate Wilder now because he's attacking Fury and with baseless claims. He's a disgrace. He's a cancer. But that's between him and Fury, though. But that's between two grown ass men. They got some shit to deal with. Wilder feels this way, and Fury feels that way. And guess what? At the end of the day, they met up in the ring in the third fight, and they hashed it out. A total of what? What was it? Like, what was the total? Was it like 5 knockdowns in the third fight or some shit? 4? Was it 4 knockdowns? 2 by each? So they hashed that shit out. And they got nothing else to say to each other anymore. Right? They both got paid handsomely. And right at this point, Wilder's chilling in Alabama, taking care of and loving his family. So I just never understood that. And I never really I tried not to get into all of the allegations other than, I did my film study, right? And I feel like a lot of people accused me and threw me in the box of being this like Wilder fanatic and Divine Sense boxing. I was getting called all kinds of racist stuff and getting like evil and hateful emails and messages. And for me, I don't know what these other channels were doing out here in defense of Deontay Wilder. But for me, all I literally did was do a film study. All I did was do a film study of the second fight. And a lot of you guys were in that live, right? I went live and did it. And ironically enough, the video was flagged. PBC sent me an email saying like, "Hey, we can't allow you to, do a film study of the entire fight, like maybe the highlights, but not the entire fight." And I said, "Well, with all due respect, there's a lot of controversy. Rather you're on the Fury or Wilder side, there's a lot of controversy, and I'm just trying to get the information out there. So if you don't want me to monetize it or get any credit, I don't care about that at all. I just want to get the message out there." And PBC said, "Cool." They let me keep the whole video up. So what does that tell you about PBC? I don't really agree with a lot of shit that they do, but in that respect, they did stick up for Wilder because they let me keep the whole damn video up, a 2-hour live stream of a film study of that second fight. And in that film study, I just pointed out what I saw with my eyes, talking about the sport of boxing for the past 15 years. That's it. That's all I did. I didn't make countless videos attacking Fury and building up Wilder. I don't need to build up Wilder. Wilder built himself up. Wilder did just fine on his own, doing what he did in his career to lead him up to the point where he's fighting Fury 3 times. So I don't need to build him up. I don't need to protect him. He protects his damn self. All I did was make a damn film study. But for some reason, and y'all can call it what it is and how you want to call it, I'm sure you guys all have your opinions, and feel free to speak freely in the chat. But for some reason, the hatred for a man went to extreme and high levels. Getting emotionally involved between two men's disputes. It makes me wonder what you guys actually do in real life. Like, your neighbor has a dispute with another neighbor, and what are you're gonna go over there, and some of these dudes do be doing that shit, man. Instigators. That's what they are. Goddamn instigators. You go talk to one neighbor. Oh shit, he said that about you? Oh damn, man, fuck that dude. Yeah. Next day you go over to the other neighbor and be like, oh, what did he say? Oh, he said that to you too? Man, fuck that dude, bro. I got your back. So you're like telling both dudes that you got their backs. So one day when they finally meet up in the street and about to knuckle up, you in a tough spot because you be bullshitting with both of them. You acting like you cool with both of them. But then when it about to go down, you acting like, oh, I y'all just handle your beef, man. Like, I'm good. But you've been stirring the pot the whole time, instigating shit. Now 2 men trying to beat each other up. Y'all sad, man. Y'all sad. Facts, Alfred. My man Wilder out there chilling. But look, I don't want to go too long talking about this, man, because it goes down. It starts going down the rabbit hole, end up in Alice in Wonderland, man. And you never know who's watching. I've already had people record my shit and flip it and twist it, manipulate it, call me all kinds of shit. So you never know who's watching, man. So for the topic at hand, if this rumor is true that Joshua is taking step-aside money, and we will know probably soon enough, because according to Blue Blood, we're going to know within the next few days whether this rumor is true or not. If it is true, we're going to really see what Anthony Joshua is made of. And I think the only way where he can be excused to step aside and not fight Usyk in a rematch is to fight Wilder. That is the only way. And that isn't a guarantee that Wilder is actually going to fight Joshua because he's semi-retired. But I think if Joshua calls Wilder out, I do think that Wilder will be enticed to come back. And in my opinion, that's the only way that Anthony Joshua saves face. And Joshua fans shouldn't be upset about fighting Wilder. I mean, why would you? Because, Wilder ain't shit, right? So Joshua should be fine. Joshua should be absolutely fine. It should be a guaranteed W, a boost of confidence, right? So that's my opinion. And if Joshua takes step-aside money and fights some tomato can somewhere, then he's pathetic. And he is an embarrassment to British heavyweight boxing. Period. If he steps aside and fights some like top 15 dude somewhere, like number 13, 14, well, I don't care what it is. If it ain't Deontay or Dillian White or Andy Ruiz, and I put Wilder on the top of that list, then you ain't shit. You're just an embarrassment. Then you deserve to be criticized and you deserve to be ripped apart in the media. Period. And I have no remorse. That's me. What's good? That's me. Which classic game are you talking about? The Buffalo Chiefs game? Nah, man. It's my Cardinals. My Cardinals lost, bro, and I lost all taste, man. I lost all taste to watch it. But I'm overseas, right? So it's hard enough for me to get these games. So I usually just watch my hometown teams. If I was stateside, that I probably would. I probably would watch all the games, man. But as soon as my team loses, I'm like, all right, I'm good. I might watch the Super Bowl, but that's about it. But my Phoenix Suns are the best team in the NBA, so at least I have a little bit of positivity coming out of Arizona, man. But other than that, I can give two shits about what everyone else is doing. um, but yeah, everybody that tuned in tonight, man, I appreciate you. It's getting late. Like I said, man, the news dropped. I wanted to jump on here real quickly. And also, just real quickly, I don't know how many of you that are in the chat right now or listening live that joined my live stream last night of the fight. But I want to thank you guys, man. Honestly, man, from the bottom of my heart, because if it wasn't for you people that are just loyal subscribers, sometimes not even getting notifications, and you still have to search through YouTube, what's Divine Sense up to? You see I'm live and you pop in. You guys are crucial to the success of this channel and to the success of growing the voice of the sweet science and being a part of this conversation and being part of this family, because it looks like now that all the analytics are coming back now. In that live stream last night during the fight, I got over 180,000 views. That's right, you heard that. 180,000 with over 1,500 likes. And that's credit to you guys out there. So I just want to make sure that you guys are appreciated and know that you're appreciated. And every time you hit that like button, it's free, and that just shows your loyalty. Like I said, to the message and to the family, and staying subscribed and becoming official members and all that different stuff, man. So I appreciate you guys immensely, including all of you guys who, like I said, came in tonight. I know a lot of channels were going live tonight, but you took the time to come in and hit the like button. I appreciate you immensely. Kashi, are you the guy from the Credit Game channel on YouTube? Nah. I don't even know what that is. It's Divine Sense Boxing, just a little boxing channel on YouTube, man. That's what I do. I do have another podcast channel that I haven't really been pushing, but I need to badly, because I get too caught up talking about current events and political type shit on this channel, which I don't want to do. So I want to focus on my other channel, which is called the Eternal Beast Podcast. So I'm going to get that up and running as soon as I possibly can. But yeah, man, it's been good. I mean, I wasn't on live with you guys for a couple months, man. I was doing like 2 or 3 lives the whole month, but I'm starting to find that rhythm and that consistency again. And it's good to see you guys in here and be able to talk and chop it up with you guys, man. So you guys stay up, man. Be safe out there. And if you're watching these football games, man, enjoy it. It's not really my thing right now, but y'all tune in and have fun out there with your friends and family. And like I always say, man, stay strong, stay positive. And I'll see you guys on the next one. I'm going to plan a big collaboration, a big panel. I want to make another big panel and get another big firestorm going and get this conversation going, because if these rumors are true, it's going to be a hot button topic. And I want to get some other esteemed gentlemen or ladies, if they want to be a part of the panel, to come on here and chop it up here on Divine Sense Boxing, and get this conversation going. Because if it's true, it's going to be a conversation of what is Anthony Joshua going to do next. He step aside. What is he going to do next? Are we going to get Anthony Joshua and Wilder? So that's my goal, is to wait these next few days to see if these rumors are true or not, and then build a panel and drop a firestorm panel. All right, guys, so stay up. If you guys haven't hit that like button, make sure you hit that like button, slip, jab, hit that subscribe button if you're new. I'll be back with another one. Y'all stay up. Peace.